Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to all the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, just wanted to go into a lesson, going into the chastisement of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, and ultimately what it leads to us, leads for us in the future, in our paths, on our walks, what the Lord has planned for us, for us to serve His will. Just kind of wanted to touch on that scripture about, how it's grievous to us to be going through things, going through what they consider the human experience, and having to experience different trials and situations, but the fruit it brings in the outcome, what it produces is just so much greater, And before I get that, let me get Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou comes to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation," meaning get ready to go through some things. If you coming to serve Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, it's not an easy journey. It's not an easy road, but it's not a fruitless road nonetheless. If we're gonna serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, we're gonna have to strive against the things of this world, and we're gonna have to strive against our own selves, our own flesh. It says, "Set thy heart aright." Your heart goes into your mind. "And constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble." Right. Make not haste. So when the tribulation and temptation come your way, don't be hasty in your decision making. Don't be quick to give up, or give in to whatever it is. That's why it said, get your mind together, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, because this is the thing about endurance. "And make not haste in time of trouble, cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end." And there it is, that the outcome may be very fruitful for you, because then we'll be moving in the purpose and will that Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua has set for us. That's why I said that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So when you go through what it is that the Lord is bringing you through, and He's purging out of you what He wants out of you, the outcome will be greater than what it was when you first started. And that's the whole point. I'm gonna read a couple more. It says, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state." And that patience goes back into endurance, because patience and suffering goes hand. I can't get it up in here. Patience and suffering goes hand in hand. Because when you're patient, when you're waiting on something, that means you're willing to suffer the time that it takes between you getting what you want, or the time it takes between the now and you getting what you want, in order to, get it. You're waiting, because a lot of times waiting is suffering. So just like now, we want the kingdom of heaven badly, because the kingdom of heaven is going to be nothing but good for the Israelites. But we still have to go through all the sorrows and the dangers and the trouble that we have to endure in this modern kingdom before we get it. So we have to be patient. We're still suffering. Verse 5, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." Gold is tried in the fire, and it comes out in a pure form with all the impurities out of it. So the same way with the men of the Lord, going through the adversity that we have to go through, the temptations, the adversity, the trials and tribulations, because the outcome is going to be far greater than what it is when we first started, and we'll be able to better serve Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua and His purpose, and His purpose for us, because we'll be equipped with whatever it is that we needed for the reason why we had to go through what we was going through in the first place. Verse 6, "Believe in Him, and He will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in Him." Okay, so now I'm going to jump to Hebrews 12, starting at 1. And I want to read it in the AMP, And I've been again. I like the AMP. I've been going into the AMP a lot more. I just like the way a lot of the scriptures are worded. So this is verse 1 in the AMP. It says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, who by faith have testified to the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai's absolute faithfulness, stripping off every unnecessary weight and the sin which so easily and cleverly entangles us, let us run with endurance." I'm reading both, "and active persistence the race that is set before us." Now I'm reading the KJV as well. It says, "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." Right. So basically, coming out of the when thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Because the sin is like it said, the sin that so easily beset us, meaning the things that trip us up the most, that it seems hard to come out of. It says that's what we have to lay aside. That's what we have to strip off. That's what going through what we go through is gonna do. Going through adversity, the different and getting the understanding, not just the Lord bringing stuff on us for no reason, but also too for us to get an understanding of why is this happening, or why do we need to go through this. Oh, now I'm starting to understand, what the Lord is trying to show me, what he's trying to portray, because I need to cut this off. This needs to be eliminated out of my life, and this is why it needs to. So this is something that's against the will of Yahweh by Shema Shai, but it's something that I do, a sin that I do, or whatever the case may be. So this is why the Lord is doing this unto me. It's not for my destruction. It's for my benefit for the long run. That's why I said, let us run with patience. Because there go that patience again. Now I can actually get it. The race that is set before us. See, it says patience. The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. So there it is, suffering right there. That's all a part of patience. Being able to suffer and accept or tolerate delay without getting upset or angry, Patient, there it is. It's a origin, Middle East from Old French, from Latin patientia, patience, patienta, something like that. From patient, suffering. That's the point, suffering. And it says, it don't say it in there, but it said it in this definition, suffering. Verse 2, looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith, who is for the joy that it was set before him, endured the cross, despising the shame, and sit down at the right hand of the Most High, at the throne of the Most High. I'm gonna read that in the AMP. It says, looking away from all that will distract us and focusing our eyes on Yahweh Shai, who is the author and perfecter of faith, the first incentive for our belief, and the one who brings our faith to maturity. Wow. Wow. I like the way that word is. It says the first incentive for our belief and the one who brings our faith to maturity, who for the joy of accomplishing the goal set before him endured the cross, disregarding the shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High, revealing his deity, his authority, and his completion of his work. Right. I'm saying the AMP, just consider and meditate on him who endured from sinners such bitter hostility against himself. Consider it all in comparison with your trials, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. I'm going to read that in the KJV. For consider him that endures such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest you be wearied and faint in your minds, because that heart goes into your mind. So that's why I said in verse 2 of Sirach, Chapter 2, verse 2, set thy heart, which is your mind, aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Because like it said in here, Yahweh Shai, he endured such tribulation and hostility, bitter hostility from the very people he was coming down to save, you know? For the very same people, the Israelites, our own people, you know? But that's why I said in our tribulations not to grow weary, not to grow weak, and make not haste in time of trouble. Verse 4, A and P, ye have not struggled to the point of shedding blood in your striving against sin, and you have forgotten the divine word of encouragement, which is addressed to you as sons. My son, do not make light of the discipline of the Lord, and do not lose heart and give up when you are corrected by him. And I'm going to read that in the KJV. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Why? Why not? Why do we not despise this? You know, and now we understand why. But this is why. Verse 6, for the Lord loveth, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son. And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. Right. So it says, for the Lord disciplines and corrects those whom he loves, and he punishes every son whom he receives and welcomes to his heart. I'm going to get a quick precept. It's Amos chapter 3, verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Well, I started one. It's Amos 3 and 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. So going back to verse 6, it said, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So the Lord said he only know us. He only deal with us, you know, so he's going to punish us. So whom the Lord loveth, he punishes. That's as a nation, but it's also in an individual level as well, you know, especially for the elect. Because that's, you know, because we know 2/3 of our people, they're going to be destroyed and come back. But the elect have a higher calling, you know. They have a much higher calling. And it's a difference between the elect and non-elect right now of our own nation. Verse 7 in the AMP, you must submit to the correction of the purpose. You must submit to correction for the purpose of discipline. Right. And I really like that. I really like the way that's worded. You must submit to correction for the purpose of discipline, because this is what it's all leading up to. Discipline. In order to become a disciple of Yahweh Shai, you have to have discipline. Let's look that word up. The practice of training people to obey rules of a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. The controlled behavior resulting from discipline or activity or experience that provides mental or physical training, a system of rules of conduct. This is all what this is what it leads into. This is why the Lord uses this tactic, because this is what it leads to. Training the elect to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. And the Lord said he only do that to those whom he loves. You know, he's just gonna straight punish the other nations. He don't care nothing about them. They're gonna receive punishment, but the Israelites, starting with the elect, have a special connection, a special bond with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So he uses the tactic of discipline, correction, to get us on the right path for the purpose of us becoming those righteous leaders and righteous kings in the future. You know, this is what it all leads up into. Verse 2. Well, I mean not verse, but number 2. A branch of knowledge typically once studied in higher education. It's all what it leads to as well. Higher knowledge. With the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You know, this is what it all leads up into. To train someone to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience, punish or rebuke someone formally for an offense, and to train oneself to do something in a controlled and habitual way. And some of those other synonyms was control, regulation, order, authority, rule, strictness, routine, training, use of punishment, self-control, self-discipline, self-government, control behavior, self-restraint, good behavior, orderliness, slacking, obedience, branch of knowledge, specialist, course of study, subject. All of this is what it leads into, you know. Right, I'm gonna read this last one, number 2. Control, keep under control, to restrain, regulate, govern, keep in check. Right. This is what it all leads into. So like the scripture say again, in verse 7 in the AMP, you must submit to the correction for the purpose of discipline. The Most High is dealing with you as with sons. For what son is there whom his father does not discipline? Right. Or chasten. So what son is there whom that a father loveth, that he would not discipline his son for the purpose of correcting him for the future, so that he can be a product, a good product for future use. Verse 8, now if you are exempt from correction and without discipline, in which all of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua's children share, then you are illegitimate children, not sons at all. I'm reading in the KJV. But if you be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. That's the difference between the elect and the non-elect, because the Lord is He is punishing and perfecting the elect. Remember the furnace of affliction back in Sirach 2. What is that? Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So the Lord will bring that adversity on you. You know, He'll bring it on us, but not for the purpose of our destruction, but so that we can repent. Let me see. I think there's Isaiah 1. Is that Isaiah 1? Oh, no. I'm thinking, okay, this is Baruch chapter 4, verse 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. Right. So the Lord didn't do all these things just for our destruction. You know, it was ultimately because we made him mad. So, you know, we pissed him off. But even with even in our individual lives, like it said, verse 5, Sirach 2 and 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. The Lord doesn't bring judgment on you for your destruction. Ultimately, He's doing this so that we can become those products, those godly products that He so desire after all our impurities are washed away via the adversity that we go through. Verse 9, AMP. Moreover, we have had earthly fathers who disciplined us, and we submitted and respected them for training us. Shall we not much more willingly submit to the Father of spirits and live by learning from His discipline? For our earthly fathers disciplined us for only a short time as seemed best to them. But He disciplined us for our good, so that we may share His holiness. Right, and there it is. It said we are disciplined. I'm reading in the KJV. It says, for they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but He going into the Most High for our profit, that we might be partakers of His holiness. So Yahweh Bashim Abishai discipline us for it said for our profit, for our own good in the AMP, for our own good, so that we can be the type of products we can actually be. We can actually fulfill our purpose of what we was created to do, to serve Yahweh by Shem Shah and rule the earth and govern the earth in righteousness, be the righteous rulers of the earth. That's our purpose as Israelites. We are sons of Yahweh by Shem Shah. We are his sons, and being his sons, we partake in sharing his glory. And we were created to rule the earth in righteousness, to establish his will on earth. So in order for us to do that properly, we have to be trained. Just like it said, we have to be trained because our earthly fathers had to train us so that we can be good products to operate in this world. But Yahweh by Shem Shah is training us so that we can be righteous, godly leaders of the earth. And this is what we're coming into, And it all goes through the chastisement of the Lord, which is discipline. Verse 11, and this is the point. For the time in the AMP, for the time being, no discipline brings joy, which is true, because when you going through stuff, man, it don't be feeling good. You have to suffer and go through it and be patient. But and whatever the case may be, it might not. It always, it don't feel good. All types of thoughts come to your mind, and you just be sitting there having to wait and go through it, wondering when it's gonna end, and how long you gotta wait and suffer. But the more and more we mature in this truth, the more and more we mature spiritually, the more and more we understand that the Lord is not doing this for our destruction, it's for our benefit. And really, the best way to go about it is to try to understand why the Lord is doing it and what his purpose is. What is it that he wants? And you can ask him, what it is, and for him to help you go through it. So that you can whatever his purpose is for doing it for you, you can actually achieve it and you can understand why. But for the time being, like I said, it don't feel good. For the time being, no discipline brings joy, but seemeth sad and painful. Yet to those who have been trained by it, afterward it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness, right standing with the Most High, in a lifestyle and attitude that seeks conformity to the Most High's will and purpose. And I'm going to get that word conformity. Compliance with standards, rules, or laws. Compliance with, adherence to, accordance with, observance of. So basically being compliant, respect for, adaptation for. It says behavior in accordance with socially accepted conventions or standards. Similarly in form or type of agreement and character, right? To form or fashion at the very bottom, to form or fashion, I can't highlight it, but at the very bottom under origin, to form or fashion. So this is the purpose of Yahweh B'Shem Shah, to bring adversity on us. That's the point of it. So that I'm gonna end it on this Sirach 2 again. But I'm going to read Hebrews 12 and 11 again, the AMP. For the time being, no discipline brings joy, but seemeth sad and painful. Yet to those who have been trained by it, afterwards it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness, right standing with the Most High, and a lifestyle and attitude that seeks conformity or compliance to the Most High's will and purpose. Right, whatever it is that he has, our purpose that he has for us, the reason why we are on this earth doing what we're doing, we're conforming to it. We accept it. We understand it. And we understand that the way to it is to go through the discipline. Even when we don't want to do it, we understand what he's doing, what's the overall goal, and how is this going to benefit the nation? How is this going to benefit the Most High's will? And why is it so important that I go through these things? This is how we thinking now. This is how we move. So I'm going to read this again. Where is it at? Verse 3. I'm going to read verse 2 and verse 3. Sirach 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Meaning, tying it back to that Hebrews 12 and 11. Now we're conforming. At first, we know it don't feel good going through whatever we got to go through. But the overall goal, the overall purpose is to purge away all those impurities that the Lord is trying to purge away from us so that we can be more like Yahweh Shai. You know, we can be more like Yahweh Shai. We can conform to his will and purpose that he has for us. And ultimately, we can serve our purpose and how it's going to benefit the world, you know, because you never know. You got to think this is big. It's much bigger than us. Everything is much bigger than us. And what we do, what we go through, and what we gain from going through all our adversity, you know, ain't no telling how it's going to benefit the nation. Because even if we just go through what we go through to help somebody else, that's another household that can potentially go and help somebody else after that, and that can spread throughout the nation. So it's very important for us to be, for us to truly understand why we go through what we go through. It's not just about the Lord punishing us, and it's no reason. Like, the Lord does nothing without a purpose. Everything he do has a purpose. So, Lord will, that was an edifying lesson. Want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers out there pushing his word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping his word of sincerity and the truth. Till next time, shalom.